Tottenham have just been battered at home. Happy New Year, everybody. I am delighted to tell you that Tottenham have lost 2-0 at home to Aston Villa. And listen to this. Harry Kane had to wait for 20 minutes for his first touch of the ball. That is shambolic. Tottenham had one shot on target all game. None in the second half. Things are getting very, very ugly at Tottenham. It's not looking good. It's looking like it's going to be poison. The team were booed off. Antonio Conte looks like he is fuming and unhappy. And the question that I now have to ask is how long until Harry Kane demands a transfer? There is no way that he will want to play for Antonio Conte next season. So if Conte is there, I don't think Kane will be. Equally, I don't think that Antonio Conte will be there. Crisis is a word that is often bandied around in football. But Tottenham are in crisis. I trust that you are all well, but that really was an awful performance from Tottenham. And on the evidence that we saw today, they haven't got a hope of qualifying for the top four. Champions League conversations, people are saying in my WhatsApp group with Adam McCullough and that, they're all saying, oh, great result for Manchester United. Manchester United's win away at Molineux yesterday now takes on more significance because Tottenham have dropped points today. And my reply was, it's irrelevant. It's completely insignificant. I think that we can discount Tottenham. They are not going to do it. They are so pedestrian in attack. They are un-Conte-like in defence. And as combinations go, that is a disaster. If you are flaky at the back like that, Gill, what a joke. Bissouma for the goal. Exquisite goals. Don't get me wrong. The assists for both goals scored by Aston Villa today deserve an awful lot of mention and credit. But Bissouma, what are you doing? Just stop running. You cannot do that. You cannot simply stop tracking your runner. So I think now that we forget about Tottenham with regard to top four, I think we can start talking about Aston Villa for top six. But we have no reason to discuss Tottenham Hotspur when talking about teams that are likely to finish in the top four. Absolutely not. Tottenham have now conceded at least twice in each of their last 7 Premier League games. It's their worst run since 1988. This is alarming, shocking stuff from Antonio Conte's team. And not only are they conceding goals, but they just have no flurry. Think about how they attacked last season. Think about how good they were moving forward. Heung-min Son was absolutely unplayable last season. This year, he needs to be dropped. There was a moment at the end of the game. He just let the ball roll out of play. Just completely misjudged it. He is so in need of a break, but they just can't create anything. It was such a submissive display from them. And they are so in need of Kulusevski, Bentancur, Richarlison. They really do need them back soon. But I think I've made a mistake there. Because as soon as we start doing that, what we do is we make excuses for Tottenham and we make excuses for Antonio Conte. Me flagging the players that aren't available almost justifies the lack of creativity and the lack of ambition in the team, and I don't want to do that because the players that were selected today by Antonio Conte are capable of creating. Harry Kane was on the pitch. We talk about Harry Kane as being one of the best strikers in the world. Didn't touch the ball for 20 minutes. So it's got nothing to do with Richarlison's absence or nothing to do with Kulusevski's absence. The fact that Heung-min Son is on the pitch and he's one of the worst players, I think, Gill aside, I think you can talk about the worst players on the pitch, Heung-min Son. Harry Kane, this is really, really poor. I feel like I've been a little bit unjust on Aston Villa. I've been banging on about Tottenham. We really do have to acknowledge how good Aston Villa were. I mean, they executed Emery's game plan perfectly, biding their time to get the opener and then controlling the game just beautifully. They really were excellent, but Tottenham made it easy for them. Tottenham had nothing. They were so impotent. They had 60% of the possession, Tottenham, in that second half. 4 touches in the Aston Villa box. It's a damning statistic, but it's not really surprising. They were clueless in attack. They really were. And I have no idea why it's gone downhill so rapidly for Tottenham. If you think about the highs towards the end of last season, battering Mikel Arteta's Arsenal to secure Champions League qualification. They were on the up. They felt like they were on the up. They finally got their man. How has it got this bad, this quickly? I really do not know. Is it that other teams have improved? Is it that Arsenal have levelled up and Aston Villa have recently levelled up and other teams have drastically improved? Or is it that Tottenham are just a shambles? Like Tottenham are currently playing like Burnley last season. Tottenham are currently comparable to Burnley last season. And Burnley currently, by the way, who are top of the Championship under Vincent Kompany, are playing better than Tottenham. I just really don't know where they go from here. I really, really don't. Because when you think about Tottenham at the beginning of this season, they couldn't really lay a glove on any of the top teams. You know, they nicked a point off us, didn't they, at Stamford Bridge? Completely unjustified. But they did thieve half-inch a point off us. But they couldn't really play well against the teams that were better than them, but they were doing okay against the teams that they were supposed to beat. Now, everybody is beating them. Everybody is taking the game to them. And Tottenham have some terrible fixtures coming up. Like, they're playing away at Palace, away at Fulham. They've got Man City coming up. And I haven't even mentioned the 4-0 battering that they are going to get by Arsenal very, very soon. Like that game, if you're an Arsenal fan, your appetite has got to be so wet and ready for that fixture. You're going to do the double over Tottenham this year, and it could be embarrassing. You owe them as well. You owe them after what happened at the end of last season when they got their Champions League spot. But this is just looking so bad for Tottenham now. One shot on target all game. It really is so bad. And do you know what shocked me? I thought Tottenham had a really good transfer window. And I stand by the fact that they did. You know, I was making a case for them arguably winning the transfer window. When I looked at their bench today, I was shocked. Their subs today: Forster, Dyer, Tanganga, Sanchez, Sessegnon, Emerson, Royale, Spence, Sarr, Skip. I mean, apart from Sessegnon, who on earth are you going to back to change a game if it's not going your way? And even Sessegnon, maybe. I've been a little bit generous there. But look, Tottenham were dreadful, but Aston Villa were very good. And Unai Emery is really keen on organisation. His teams are always tough to break down. And I think in this country, we're a little bit snide to Unai Emery. Because of his time at Arsenal, he took over from Arsene Wenger, which is very difficult. And he was obviously back in North London today, so he would have been desperate to get a result. But I think that we are very unfair on Unai Emery's time at Arsenal. He didn't do a bad job there at all. And he's an excellent manager. He really is. In terms of where you rank Unai Emery, I'd say that he is in the B tier of man. You know, if you say the A tier are Klopp, Guardiola. I would have put Conte in it at one point, but Klopp, Guardiola. I would then say that in the next rung is Unai Emery. We're very critical of what happened at Arsenal, but you've got to remember, that Arsenal team got to a European final. Arsenal, brilliant club, massive club, not taking anything away from Arsenal, but they have a pitiful record in Europe. Unai Emery had them in a final. It's significant. Then he came back to Arsenal the following year with Villarreal, beat Arsenal in a semi-final, beat Mikel Arteta at the Emirates, and won that trophy. So he's an excellent manager. There are no two ways about it. He is an excellent, organised manager, and he has won 3 out of 4 games since he's been in charge at Aston Villa. It will be very interesting to see how close this team go to competing for the top 6. I think that they will get into Europe this season. They have the best manager. Of all the teams competing for it, they have the best manager. So there's no reason why they won't get there. But the focus is on Tottenham. So awful. Limited creativity. So limited. And I know they're missing some of their creative players, but gosh, they were terrible. And I really don't know what the answer is now. Do they sign more players? But then you look at the players that they've brought in and none of them have hit the ground running. Sometimes the answer isn't more. Get the players playing. Get the players that are there playing well. You know, you signed Jed Spence. He got a really long stint today. He played about 4 minutes, which is about as long as he's ever played for Tottenham. Yves Bissouma, the shadow of the man that he was at Brighton. Richarlison, he looked great in the World Cup, but they need a World Cup version. We haven't seen that at Tottenham yet. I just don't know. You know, Kulusevski is obviously an excellent player, and he's the only Tottenham player, really, that consistently provides any sort of an offensive spark. You could really tell that he wasn't playing today without being told that he wasn't playing. But where they go from here, I don't know. I think it's curtains, though. No more do we discuss Tottenham qualifying for the Champions League. We need to redefine who they are. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to be live now watching the Chelsea game. Looking forward to that. Come and join me if you fancy it. Should be good fun. I'd love to wish you all Happy New Year. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. See you in a minute. Ta-da.